Hey everyone, this is David here. I'm going to talk to you today about leaving messages, updating your CRM, what to say, and I'm going to have you listen to a live call that I had yesterday in my live training. Before I do that, let's go and talk about what surplus funds are. Surplus funds are, there's tons of different definitions out there. Typically what we do is we work with overages from tax and mortgage auctions. A property goes up for auction due to not paying the tax or mortgages. It sells for over the asking price. And a lot of times these funds go back to the individuals, which they never know they had. So what we do is we locate them, we let them know that they have this unclaimed money, and we get them paid in the process. There's also state unclaimed funds, which has been money that's been turned over to the state, often from a tax or mortgage overage, but also from an old bank account. Grandma had a bank account that she never told the family about, and it goes to the state, or someone's moved and they had a IRA or something from their job and they have no way of locating this person, and that kind of just stays on it, stays stagnant. So what we do is we locate individuals, we get them paid, and we get a finder's fee in the process. So here's an actual conversation I had with somebody yesterday. I'm going to go and play this, and I'm going to talk about updating this in the CRM.
Well, can I see the person you're calling?
Yeah, I'm trying to reach Cindy.
Okay. The person you're calling uses sign language, and I'll be interpreting the call. Right now, we're waiting for them to do so.
Okay, is Cindy, she does sign language?
I'm not sure if the person you called, all I have is the number dialed.
Okay, and I'm not sure if I have the right number. I'm with the Armed Recovery on a recorded line, but yeah, I'm trying to reach Cindy.
What number were you dialing?
I am dialing right now 240.
It has gone to their answer system. Did you want to leave a message to the interpreter?
Okay, absolutely. I'm trying to reach a family member of Jean, and this is
Jean is Bene or Jean?
Jean, and this is regarding a tax certificate with the county of, and this has gone dormant. Yeah, and I'm probably killing this name. I never say names like this correctly. And this is regarding a tax certificate regarding her north address, Florida. And Jean is 102 years old. So what I'm trying to do is just reach a family member about this and see if I could get them, if that makes sense. Like, see if I get the family member acquainted with this.
Okay.
If she speaks sign language, I'm guessing it would be good if she emailed me. So should I give you just my email?
You can, sure.
All right, it is
surplus.
Correct.
Okay. .com.
Correct. And then she could just put in the subject line, or I'll know who it is. And that'll be great. Okay, so what I do is I go through here and I give this guy a plan of action. I give him the one thing I did say that was incorrect is I should have said I was assigned this file and I'm calling on behalf of the overage, and I didn't say that. And I was a little vague on some of the things. I said tax certificate because if I had said tax overage, she wouldn't have known what it was. And I gave all the detailed information I could. Again, I'm talking directly to a source of the daughter here who has sign language. I've never dealt with a translator for someone with sign language. I have dealt with other languages before. I've had to get someone to translate, or I've had to use Google Translate and email, and that's worked out pretty well. So as far as direct messaging. Now, what I do here, and just so you know, on the CRM, they do not make my CRM, and I have a whole video on CRM. They will not make my CRM unless I actually speak to someone. Here I spoke to somebody. I gave him a plan of action. I asked him to put a certain name in the subject line. I gave him my email so she could email me directly, and I went ahead and made sure he had all forms of communication. So what I would do here in this case to make sure these get followed up on. So really quick, before I go into the CRM, I go really big on the 3-37-60 rule. 3 of your people are going to say, yeah, let's do business right now, 3%. 37, you're going to have to follow up with between conversations 4 and 12, and that's just the way the business is. So I'm coming in here, I'm calling a few times, I'm emailing, I may be texting. I know my state laws and what I can do and cannot do. Somewhere between conversations 4 to 12, statistically, I'm going to get 37% of my leads. And this is probably going to be one of those leads if I get it. I would just log on to, if you're brand new at this, I really like Trello, and I'm signed in already. All you have to do is come down here, and I have a few training boards and boards that I have. All you have to do is click here, create a new board. And on this, okay, so what I like to do is I've made these all the way across the top. I can add any cards I want to add. And then what I would do is this one would be a follow-up. So what I always do is I start off with the date, and I'll put the name. So Gene, and then last name, and then I'll put the phone number of the person I tried, and then I put down what happened. Okay, and then what I'll do is if I click enter, that adds it. Now, what I can do is I could take a screenshot of the actual lead itself, which I cannot show you. But let's say this is the lead itself, and I do this with the phone number. I go back in. What I do is I come in here to attachment, and I upload the link up here. So I'll choose a file. and I'll do that screenshot. Bam. Okay. And again, this is an actual lead I'm giving you. And then what I do is I have a due date in here. I'll just put like a plan of action. I put activity here, but follow up with a phone call. So let's say that phone call, let's say today is June 12th. Let's say it's June 19th that I'm going to follow back up with. Now, what phone call would I be following back up here with? The phone call would be, if I don't hear back from this, I want to get a follow-up phone call and find out what's going on. So as it gets closer to the due date, it'll turn yellow. So like let's say it's coming up here. What I'll notice is this will be yellow. And if it's actually on the date, and if you click it, that means you've completed the task, although I don't really use that, and I'll show you why right now. And then if you come up here and if it's actually on the date, so say it was due today, it would be red, which I like, and you can color code these where they'll go. Now, let's say I call them back on the 12th, or they call me back and they say, yeah, David, let's go ahead and move forward. This goes from a follow-up to a verbal agreement. They're telling me to go and go forward. What I'm going to do is come in here, and then I would just put new activity down here so I could see this. Spoke to family, whoever it is, said to move forward. At this point, I educate them on what I'm going to do. So I say, hey, I'm going to get you the agreements. Is it better to have the notary call you on Wednesday morning or afternoon, Thursday morning, afternoon, whatever day it is? And I give them the plan of action that they need. Write any notes here. Agreed to email. Stated notary was best to call them Thursday morning. Perfect. And then I'll even put the date on here. So I put spoke to. So say I spoke to them on 6/12/24. Bam, that gets entered. Okay, that's in there. I'm going to save that, and that's in there. Then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to do a new date. I'm going to be following up here. So once I send the contracts out, it comes up here, and that's where the new date comes in. When I get them back, in this case, it would be county. If it was a tax overage, it'd be county. And then if there's a problem, so a problem would be like, I'm dealing with a case right now where, and I actually just got her paid, but I had an 84-year-old woman who didn't have some birth and death certificates for her parents, or she didn't have a will. She had the birth and death certificates. She didn't have a will. And we had to write an affidavit saying, hey, she is the person to get paid here, and we want to go and move forward. That would be a problem file. It's kind of out of the sequence. I'm still working on it. I'm putting dates on it. Hopefully, when you come up here and you start off your day, you get to the point where you have a number of follow-ups, people that you've spoke to, you've left messages for, or you're calling back to see, or someone says, hey, I'm on vacation. Can you check back in with me next week? And I usually nail the time with them. And then I even ask them, great, hey, have a good vacation. By the way, can I email you just to show you what this looks like? You're trying to constantly get your foot in the door with this. Hope this helps, and I will see you all around on the next video. Talk to y'all later. Thank you. And do me a favor, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. See you guys around.